in the Munster Hurling Championship. Meath GA in another possible replay saga, this time involving their hurlers. Monaghan and Down battle it out for a place in the Ulster semi-final. All-Ireland champions Dublin get their defence up and running in Kilkenny. And the Armagh County Board have their say in the wake of Joe Brolly's comments last Sunday.
As county chairman, I would reiterate my total support for Kieran McGeaney, his backroom staff and the county player.
Yeah, all of that and more coming up in a busy programme. But first I'd like to welcome Anthony Daly and Eddie Brennan to review the hurling. I'm not sure why, but having spent longer time in management, Anthony has been giving reassuring hugs to Eddie all day long. But let's get straight to the action, and we start with the game of the weekend. Semple Stadium provided a wonderful setting for the latest clash of Waterford and Clare, fresh from their two dramatic games in the Alliance League final. Commentary comes from Michael Dignan and Marty Morrissey.
The newly crowned league champions make two late changes to their starting 15. Both involve Conlara men. Oisin O'Brien returns after a collapsed lung to regain his place at corner back, while John Conlon is back on the team after an ankle injury that prevented him playing in the league finals. Big day for Miltown Malbay man Conor Cleary and Ina Kinlamona's David Fitzgerald, who are both making their championship debuts in Thurles today. It's a strong and at this stage experienced Waterford team that will begin their championship journey today. Tadhg de Burka, Austin Gleeson and Philip Mahoney are a formidable half-back line, while Jamie Barron and Dara Fives have built a reputation in midfield. The late dramatic news is that Pádraig Mahoney will start at corner forward and join Patrick Curran and Maurice Shanahan in the full forward line. It's round 3, the final round of an intriguing saga. The Munster Hurling Championship semi-final is underway. Clare won the toss, playing from right to left. Sunshine is gone, it's cloudy, it's very humid. It's going to be difficult for these amateur players. Immediately grabbing the ball is Maurice Shanahan, going through, trying to make an angle, trying to skip away from Conor Cleary. He makes the angle, he takes the shot, but the ball is left and wide. First opportunity goes to Waterford.
Yeah, Maurice Shanahan there broke away, but he just couldn't get the shot in, hit it wide. Quick puck out there, taken out straight out to David Fitzgerald.
David Fitzgerald dispossessed, and here comes Austin Gleeson. Great opportunity, he hits it well, it's over the bar, and Waterford are up and running. Wonderful score by the centre half back from Mount Sion. David Fitzgerald was dispossessed, and as a result it was a simple score. Darragh under the puck out. Back in form and a new lease of life in the half-forward line. Ball inside, there's a chance here, a shot! Oh, what a save! A fantastic save by Stephen O'Keefe as a result of a fantastic shot by David Reedy. What a response by the newly crowned league champions.
That's an unbelievable save, lovely ball in. You see Darragh Conan here getting possession, comes inside, a great run inside by David Reedy. Well picked out here by Darragh Conan, and rightly so, he went for a goal, a cracking shot, but Stephen O'Keefe gets down for a fantastic save.
Waterford regained possession. Philip Mahon, I'm sure delighted on a personal level to see his brother back on the team as Tadhg de Burka sends it in. It's 3 against 2. Balancing the ball on the stick was David Fitzgerald, Maurice Shanahan, and that rolls into the net! Goal for Waterford. It's a ball that really should have been cleared from a Clare perspective, but full credit to Maurice Shanahan. He got the touch and it literally rolled into the back of the Clare net. Yeah,
and if you look at the man that's inside with him there, it's Austin Gleeson. They've positioned him inside in the full forward line along with Maurice Shanahan. Tadhg de Burka able to go high, and you know what a man Austin Gleeson is.
Here comes Tony Kelly, being well surrounded. Kelly gets his first break of freedom in this match and flicks it forward. But it's not a great pass, but it works out all right. There's the centre half back, Conor Cleary, who's named a cornerback, but starting and that is going over the bar. They'll be rejoicing that all the way down in Miltown Malbay. A West Clare man who plays his club hurling with Kilmaley, getting the pass from Tony Kelly, and it agonisingly, there was an agonising wait before it popped over the crossbar. Good score. Pádraig Mahoney is coming out out there, so too is Patrick Curran. It's Curran that was getting there first. Clare deal with it, Cian Dillon. uses the short ball. Available is Colm Galvin, who goes for distance. And that is some puck of a slither. That is some score from way out the field by Colm Galvin. He has rediscovered, rekindled the form of 3 years ago.
Yeah, and if you want to see, I suppose, the good side of the new game, there it is there. David Reedy back, the other midfielder, to Cian Dillon, and he picks out Colm Galvin, and what a shot from way out the field. Great score.
Tony Kelly, Conor McGrath. Kelly has gone for the return pass. Heading towards the Waterford 45. One man passed on the stick, drops it in, and O'Keefe has to deflect it over the crossbar. One of the great sequences of play that we've seen in this match so far. The teamwork, the hand passing, the skill, and finally the score. Absolutely top drawer. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Tony Kelly's a brilliant player. That's his first score of the game. Beautiful link play there with Conor McGrath, a super score again.
Maurice Shanahan straight from the puck out. Available to his left is Jamie Barron, but Shanahan is going forward himself. Uses the short grip, and that is over the bar. Great play, Maurice Shanahan. He's already scored a goal and a point in this Munster Championship semi-final out of that tally of a goal and 4.
Yeah, good to see him back there. Super soul run and just shortened up the grip and over the bar.
Colm Galvin sends the ball in. A chance here for John Conlon, who we've seen very little of, but he's back. First score of the match for John Conlon. Great to see him back in the jersey again, having picked up that nasty ankle injury against Kilkenny in the league semi-final.
Yeah, Martin, nice simple bit of hurling. Good first time, quick ball into space. John Conlon out in front over the bar. That's the way we would have all grown up hurling, that you get the ball into your full forward line fast and you let them do the damage.
Long puck out this time from Stephen O'Keefe. Doing away with the short puck out to Shane Fives that we've seen so much of. Here's Austin Gleeson. And the long ball strategy works superbly for the Mount Sion man that won in All-Ireland back in 2013 at minor level.
3 points he's got from play. Sometimes his shooting can be a bit erratic, but that's a great return from him in the first half, playing between wing back and up in the full forward line all over the place.
Cian Dillon should deal with this easily. Brendan Bugler to his left. In the centre, Conor Cleary. Sprays the ball over to the far overside towards John Conlon. Fancy stuff didn't work. Easily blocked down by Shane Bennett, the 19-year-old, on the 20-metre line. Flicks it high and flicks it between the posts and over the bar. He really is a good hurler, this Shane Bennett. Yeah. He emerged last year and he's graduated even more this year.
Well, he's very young. It's hard to believe. 19, the likes of Patrick Kern and Gleeson only 20. That's a great score.
Place in the Munster final on July 10th against Tipperary or Limerick is at stake. The loser will go the scenic route through the qualifiers, and that can be quite perilous to say the least. A chance here for Padraig Mahoney. Oh my word! Oh, that was a thing of beauty. It literally sneaked in. We wondered just for a second would it hit the goalposts, but it just curled beautifully. A Moran Mahoney special from Waterford. It's Kevin Moore. Calling for it in the middle was Philip Mahoney. Just inside the Clare half of the field, he hits it magnificently between the posts. They certainly have their sat-nav working now, Waterford. It's his first in this Munster semi-final.
Kevin Moore again, Marty, so influential there. Picked up that ball, had a look across the field and picked out Philip Mahoney. Great vision, and that's a great score from Philip, who's a brilliant servant to Waterford hurling.
Oisin O'Brien spraying it over to the far side. Brendan Bugler goes to the score from way out the field, and that is exactly what Clare badly needed. Brilliant long-range effort from Bugs, as they call him, down in Whitegate. A badly needed score for Clare. But Waterford have started this second period. Pressure around that midfield area is huge. Here's Colin Ryan, tries to open it up, sending it over for his Conor Cleary. Good ball over for his David Fitzgerald. He has the time, he has the composure, and he has the ability to score his first point in the Munster Championship debutant.
Yeah, that was a well-worked score by Clare. Under pressure, great tackling by Waterford, but they held their patience and worked it out to David Fitzgerald and knocked it over.
Almost 52 minutes played. Now the crowd from Clare getting behind their team as Cleary chips it up nicely for his captain. On for his Colin Ryan, as Clare adapt a straight long ball strategy. It's Shane O'Donnell getting inside the cover. He has to pass another one. Brought to ground. Referee has his arm up. He's indicating a free and he's blown the whistle. He's giving a free. Almost a replica of what we saw in the Alliance Hurling League final replay, when Waterford were clearly the better team, but never actually put Clare to the sword. You just sense Clare beginning to get a bit of momentum.
Absolutely, and you see Shane O'Donnell there. The free's been brought into the middle now. There's the high arm by Tyke de Burke, the free given, but there was a little bit of back chat to the ref. He's brought it into the middle, and Cathal O'Connell seems to be taking it.
It is Tots that's going to take it. Cathal O'Connell takes his point. Is that a signal that Clare are on the road to recovery? I wonder. Brilliant start to the second half by Waterford, but slowly Clare are gaining confidence. Linesman has his flag raised and said that the ball had crossed the line. Sideline ball for Waterford. It's hot down the sideline for Davy Fitzgerald. Waterford haven't scored since the 45th minute. That is 10 minutes ago. Austin Gleeson.
Keep it in play is my motto with these.
And O'Connor had to get a new hurley as that ball was cut, but what a point. What a point by Austin Gleeson. Just when the Banner County were gaining in momentum.
That'll teach me to have the cheek to question Austin Gleeson taking the line ball. Straight over the black spot. Fantastic skill. 5 points between the teams. Maurice Shanahan did so well. Lays it off first, Kevin Moran, and that is over the bar. A 50-50 ball, won magnificently by Maurice Shanahan. He laid it off to his captain and straight between the posts. Classic point. Conor Clare wins it easily ahead of Jake Dillon. Aaron Cunningham has to give it back for his Ocean O'Brien. Ball into space is a good one. A great interception by Austin Gleeson. A little flick of the hurl. Can he finish it? He gives it plenty of space, plenty of air, but the ball is over the bar. Fantastic, Austin Gleeson. Now that is sheer, utter class. Well, Martin, we might have said in the first half he scored 3 out of 3. He didn't do much else, but he's had a brilliant second half. 2 more points in play and a great line ball as well. What a contribution from... And when he went back, wing back, he really came into the game and having a fantastic second half as well.
Brian O'Halloran gives it to Maurice Shanahan. Front of the stand. Is it going to go over the bar? Yes, it is. Game done and dusted. And it's Waterford's day in Semple Stadium. They are through to the Munster Hurling final on the 10th of July against either Limerick or Tipperary. It more than makes up for losing the Alliance Hurling League final replay in dramatic style. It's Waterford go through to the Munster Hurling final on that scoreline. Waterford 121, Clare 17 points.
I think particularly pleasing for us was to be able to maintain that relentless attitude all the way through the game, because lots of people talk about systems, but our system is just based on old-fashioned values of hard work and work ethic all over the field. So we're just delighted with the overall attitude of the players.
We're savagely disappointed, but you have to hand it to Waterford. They were the better team, and that's it. Like we've no complaints, but I'd love to get another go at them again. I'd love to have another crack, and you never know, maybe later on in the year we might. And I can tell you, Clare might be down, but we'll come back fighting, no doubt about it, and I can't wait to go again. We'll be okay.
So congrats to Waterford. They'll now play the winners of Limerick and Tip in the Munster final. That's on the 10th of July. Right, let's reflect on Eddie Brennan. Fantastic win for Waterford. How good were they today?
Yeah, sure, look, we often talk about, revenge being a dish best served cold, and you'd have to say they had 4 weeks to maybe digest what happened, and it was probably a hard thing for them. And I know myself from experience, maybe Dale will say the same, when you're sitting there watching a team you know is coming around the corner in a championship match, getting presented with a cup and everything that goes with it, it sticks in you a little bit. So it's a bit of motivation, it's an old chip on the shoulder. And you'd say today Waterford were steels. Their body language was quite good, I would say, in contrast with Clare. Clare just looked a small bit flat, but to be fair to Waterford, they worked very hard. Derek said it there. They maintained the pressure and the hard work right through. There was no lapse in concentration. OK, Clare had a spell in the first half where they hit a lot of wides, but to be fair to Waterford, they got in front from the word go and they led right from start to finish. Yeah, they were very good. Clare seemed a bit flat, Anthony.
Yeah, Des, for some reason now, I look at Clare went to Briefy House in a training camp. We had a round of the championship after the league. Waterford had a round of the championship, went to Photo Island, I believe. And so you could, how do you explain who's a bit flatter? But Waterford, The one thing we knew, Des, is these teams were meeting on the 5th of June since late October of last year. We didn't know they were meeting in a league final. That just happened. And I thought the Waterford leaders really stood up today in championship hurling. And our lads weren't really at championship tempo today. The championship fight wasn't there for whatever reason. I can't put my finger on it. But it's been missing for Clare and Munster for far too long. And it was missing again today. And there is a back door, of course, you know, and there is another chance, and it's a talented team. But maybe we're just a bit too caught up in systems and ways to play. Look, if they work, everything is brilliant, and Derek is the hero tonight, and if Davy was the hero 4 weeks ago. But for Clare, it didn't go right today.
Were they a bit tired, jaded? Is that unfair to suggest that? Or?
Well, why is it? I mean, they were both in the league final, replay, extra time. There's no real reason. Maybe they had a lot of work done early season, but I'd say Waterford, we heard they were training Christmas Day. So there's no real reason. Maybe this week, I don't know.
Right,
we don't know the inside workings, Des, really, so we're speculating. But they were flat looking on the day.
Can't believe you don't know the inside workings. But anyway, we'll
Stevie Fitz are dealing with here now, with the inside workings.
Well, let's go back and give credit to Waterford first of all. And
Absolutely.
the first thing is, you loved the way their defensive setup was so effective.
Yeah, look, this lad's giving out there, social media is giving out about, you know, sweepers and all this, but you see the amount of cover they have, and at this stage Clare begin to chase the game. Shane O'Donnell is trying to come out here, and like Shane Fives is right up with him, taps it down, Austin Gleeson, but you see Tyg de Burka there, you see Dara Fives there, you see the option of Jamie Barron on the right. It's almost impossible, and the lads are breaking off to the wing. Now Clare desperately needing a goal at this stage, and Waterford know it's going to take a goal for Clare to come back. The amount of bodies that are back there, Nolly Connors, no way through for Aaron Cunningham, and Gleeson again started full forward, you know, and a lot came off him up there and caused, I'd say, consternation about where he was going to play.
They were quite disciplined as well. They didn't lunge in there, which is the key to that.
Yeah. No, there was no penalty coming.
And the early goal proved crucial in the end.
Again, this was tactical. Like, I mean, we looked at Gleeson back there, you know, clearing these lines and coming out with 2 balls. But right at the start, you know, Philip Mahoney, very solid all day. Back to the sweeper, give out about him all you like, but he went direct, and they had 2 on 3. Now, Clare should have dealt better. David Fitzgerald should have gone with his hand there. But Gleeson is up there, Morris gets on, he causes a bit of, Cian Dillon has to stay with him if you watch it, and the break comes through, and it doesn't, you know what, I've been saying it for years, it doesn't have to be a rocket, you know, a little low one, and Pat Kelly is committed to coming off his line to him, and it dribbles to the far side of the net. What a crucial score in the case
Eddie Brennan kind of goal.
And Eddie Brennan's on the goal is dead right.
What did you make of it, Eddie?
Yeah, sure, look, it was, as Dalo said, it was a route 1 ball. You know, you contrast that with John Conlon being put into the Clare team, which had worked so successfully in the league. They didn't seem to go after him today, which was maybe the point of putting him in there. But it was just something a little bit different, and the Clare back seemed to panic there. I thought Dave Fitzgerald, for me, the loose man, maybe, when he sees his men marking, he has to attack that ball and maybe take it at a high point. Okay. And instead, he kind of let it go to ground, and a little bit of a fumble with bodies coming at him.
Okay. Now, if they had this defensive setup, show us how they were still able to score 121.
Well, it's based on huge fitness levels, and to be fair to the two of them, they showed us this a few weeks ago. But look, you see a Clare puck out, and they seem to go high because they have big men up there, and Jamie Barron gets on the ball. And this is for one time Patrick Curran evades Oisin O'Brien, who went short for the puck out and it didn't come to him. You can see Dara Fives, who is one of their sweepers, flying it up the field. Oisin O'Brien is still pursuing him. Cian Dillon comes across. He just picks off the score, but you look at the amount of Waterford bodies that are up that field, very, very few. A little bit of improvising and a little bit of craft and that bit of magic. And
contrast.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, not playing off the cuff a little bit. And you could see Austin Gleeson there. He spots that there's an option on. Maybe gets a bit of luck because it's a good high one. Yeah. But it was a brilliant score. And it showed maybe that Waterford, they weren't afraid. Yeah, they have a defensive setup, but when they were attacking, they were willing to go with it. And I think maybe just they looked that bit more lively today than Clare.
You're going to show us the Clare puckouts now from the first half, which wasn't hugely successful.
Yeah, it is. We looked at a graph on this, you know, we went through them, and like Clare mostly in the first half went long. Now this tactic has been working of the likes of Conor Cleary, David Fitzgerald, making runs from deep. But we can see the ones that they won in the first half.
Yeah.
You know, But they lost so many of the ones they went
All those
long.
red ones
You know,
they've
the
lost.
red ones are the Waterford wins. And like in the second half, obviously Fitzy has said, Donlogue said, we've got to go short. But they're chasing a lead at this stage. So Waterford are quite happy to let them go short at that stage and say, take it there if you want. Give it to Oisin O'Brien, give it to Cian Dillon, give it to Patrick O'Connor, and we'll defend it deep because we're ahead.
But that's
and we'll hit them on the break.
That's it. It's very difficult when you're chasing a match maybe like that and Waterford are sitting back nice and snug, clogging up the middle. It's forcing them to send it long, and they had the bodies back there working all night or working all
So
day.
while they're sitting there snug, Clare then are forced to shoot from further out.
Well, that's
And that was
you're
their
forced into. That's the system. They force you to shoot from distance.
Yeah.
And a lot of Clare's go-to guys for scores were so deep. You know, that was the problem.
Well, shows the misses. I mean, some of them were very poor, weren't they?
Yeah, like
Not to be harsh on them, but by
yeah,
Clare
like
standards.
these were the ones that were flying. I mean, we saw Waterford's goal, Des, and you know, David Reedy had a great game for Clare, I thought, today. You know, but
Great save, though.
Great saves. Credit to Stephen O'Keefe, brilliant save, and he was blinded a bit by Nolly Connors. But like Shane O'Donnell battling very hard here, feeding Colm Galvin. You'd expect him to nail it from there, you know, with all these 21 days. And again, like Conor McGrath, just a bit of a mayor of a game for Conor today. That's what Conor does best. But to pull it wide from there, quite incredible. And I mean, Des, look, 4 different free takers in a Munster Championship game like this. I mean, Colin Ryan is our go-to guy for frees, I suppose, and has been. But, you know, Tony Kelly, you see, missing right after half-time there from a 65. And we'd 4 different free takers. Contrast that with Pádraig Mahoney nailing absolutely everything for Waterford.
He was a key man for Waterford today.
Let's go back to how you said Waterford wanted it more, in your opinion. You've picked out some illustrations.
Yeah, well, I suppose, look, we spoke about systems and that and being inhibited by it not playing off the cuff, and this was kind of a little bit of a mad moment, really. You can see a goalkeeper coming all the way out there, then hits it across the fields on the grounds, or the ground stroke. And Cian Dillon is after sneaking up. He usually plays the spare man, but even this, like, they go down a lot of corrals. You know, look at the bodies that are there in such a tight space, and Tony Kelly, you know, tries to give it a little dinky one down the corner where there's no space, and you question, look, why not use all the space at the far side of the pitch or try open it up? Within a minute they do the same thing again, and you look at all the bodies that are in that area, and that's playing right into Waterford's hands. I mean, I don't care what system you play. What do forwards want? Where do they operate on? Space. So why are we putting it into them, going down the corner there? I mean, you're asking a lot of Shane O'Donnell. The other side of it is then, this is what Waterford were about today. They were disciplined in their attack, and there's Pádraig O'Mahony, what he brings to it today. That was in the very early stage of the match. You know, he waits for the ball to be shown, tips it away. In the second half then, I suppose, I would have felt that the body language was important. Waterford, I think, attacked the ball a lot more, and Clare were chasing them a lot. Shane Fives comes out with the ball, gets it on to Kevin Moran, who, in fairness to him, you know, takes a big hit there, gets it out to Shane Fives, who supports again, goes into traffic, the scrap continues, and then, you know, out of pure raw desire, Kevin Moran comes out with it and boots it up the field, and that was probably it. And look, we spoke about this earlier on, saying that this is probably what they're lacking.
Like you'd expect as the Munster Championship, you know, and we've had a bad record in the last few years. I touched on that. It took until David Mack came onto the field, out for 2.5 months injured, to hit a rattle. And look, there was nothing dirty in that, and Austin Gleeson is well able for that. But he tried to roust his own guys. Where was that from the get-go today from Clare? I just was expecting that. I mean, Davey spoke in his interview during the week of this being wolf on wolf, not even dog on dog. We didn't get that from Clare today, and we'll have to rediscover it for the qualifiers. We have a great chance, very good squad. Need to get a couple of players back on the field, but still, we need that fire right from the get-go.
Okay. It brings us to man of the match then, and who are the nominees here, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, look, for Clare, honourable mention, I thought David Reedy was very good, Oisin O'Brien, very good, Cian Dillon again, maybe not quite as effective as other days, but very good. But you had to go for 3 Waterford fellas, really. And the first man we went for was Kevin Moore, and I thought, you know, that clip epitomised it there. He drove past Clare fellas time after time. You know, his contribution, 3 from play, all around the place. Dara Fives for me in the first half. Absolutely, you know, at that stage was probably their leading player at that stage. He really was driving it on. But overall, Austin Gleeson is a man that has really stepped up, 20 years of age. What a powerhouse he is, and was really the driving force at the end of the game for them.
All right, so who gets the overall award then, Eddie?
Yeah, Dale teed me up nicely for Austin. Yeah, powerhouse today. I think he didn't put a foot out of place really the whole match. Started full forward, plundered an early score, was involved in the goal, came back up the field. When Clare were under the kibosh in the second half and Clare got a couple of points, Waterford needed to score, he came up and cut over a sideline from 50 or 60 yards out, and that
Brought back
was
from 4 to 5.
You know, and gave him the cushion again when maybe you thought they were going to wobble, but the Mount Sion man was immense today.
Well, congratulations then to Austin. Not the first time he's won, I think. Let's hear from him.
Austin, congratulations. You are the Etihad RTE Man of the Match. Shannon O'Dowd is here with the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Austin, I suppose today it was a case of third time lucky, no doubt about the outcome.
Yeah, I suppose it's when we got in the league replay, I suppose we kind of set our souls on this straight away, and thankfully in the end, look, we got over the line, and we knew we had a massive task ahead of us today, and in the end we paid dividends to all the hard work we have to do in the last 4 weeks. So we're thankful that we won today, and hopefully we drive on now.
And the next step is a chance to fight for a Munster title.
Yeah, we're back where we were last year compared to where we were 2 years ago. I suppose I think we were gone before the Munster final, and to be there 2 years in a row, it's a massive achievement for ourselves. And look, we played well today, but hopefully there's a lot more to come from us.
Congratulations, Austin.
Thank you. Thanks a million.
Yeah, well done to Austin. Now, lots more action and analysis to come on a packed programme, but right now it's competition time.
RTE Sport are giving you the chance to win a trip to this summer's Galway Races Festival. You and a friend will be treated to a 2-night stay at the Connacht Hotel in Galway, sponsor of Monday's feature race. Plus, there's also VIP tickets to the Galway Races Festival on July 26th, including champagne reception, 5-course meal and lots more. And so that you can make the most of it, there's €1,000 spending money too. For your chance to win the lot, answer this. Which of these won the 2015 All-Ireland Senior Football Final? Was it Kerry, Dublin or Mayo? To enter, call 15 16 71 71 82 or text the word GAME followed by your answer and name to 57001. Viewers in the north can also text to 57001 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Tuesday, June 7th. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
Maybe it's the stress-free lifestyle.
Picking flowers with the lads.
The nutritious Mediterranean diet.
I kind of knew it would taste like that. This is a Mediterranean marriage made in heaven.
Or is it?
I'm about to get up close and personal with the fountain of youth.
In the water. Donal Skehan tries to unearth why the Greeks outlive us all.
Make a bit of skin, my friend. Oh, thanks, George.
Follow Donal, Tuesday at 8:30 on RTE1.
This is Sky Broadband with Sky Q. This is the future of entertainment. Only our broadband turns every Sky Q box into a Wi-Fi hotspot, which means you can stream more of what you love in even more places around your home. This is fluid viewing. Call us or search Sky Q.
Every day we embark upon a quest to take a few simple ingredients and transform them into something extraordinary. Our latest beer is brewed with Irish barley, double hopped, and it's a refreshing hue of gold. Hop House 13. Brewed by Guinness with more hops, more taste, more character.
We have an exciting week of sport ahead here on RTE, beginning with Soccer Republic tomorrow night at 11 on RTE2. Next Wednesday at 8:30 we have the latest instalment of our Road to Rio series as the build-up to the Olympics continues. And it's finally here. UEFA Euro 2016 launches on Friday night, a month-long soccer party that kicks off with the hosts taking on Romania in Paris. And our big build-up begins at 7 o'clock on RTE2. Throughout the tournament we'll have highlights of all the action, news from the Irish camp and lots of special guests at 10:30 every night. Now, yesterday was a big day for hurlers who don't often get a chance to shine at Croke Park. It provided great excitement and significant controversy as well. Let's see how it all unfolded with Rory O'Connor.
A sun-soaked Croke Park awaited the hurlers of Sligo and Louth as they met in the Lorimar Cup final. Sligo started the brighter as centre-forward Jerry O'Kelly Lynch rifled past James Connolly. Moments later, Kevin Gilmartin doubled Sligo's lead as he raced through the Louth defence before dinking his shot into the back of the net. Sligo had their third goal of the half when a nice pass from Sean Kenny found Matthew Davey and he shot low and hard to give Sligo a 10-point lead at half-time. Louth rallied after the break with substitute Sean Connolly's well-taken goal, cutting Sligo's lead back to 3. O'Kelly Lynch's second goal gave Sligo some breathing space before Liam Drouin's free somehow found its way through the Sligo goalmouth to cut the deficit to 2. Louth's remarkable comeback was complete when substitute Andrew Mackin rounded Niall McGrath to put Louth in front for the very first time with just 4 minutes remaining. Louth captain Shane Callan ensured the victory for the wee county with this wonderful effort to give his side an incredible 4-point victory. It finished Louth 4-15, Sligo 4-11.
It's not easy being a hurler from Louth. It's not easy being a hurler from Sligo. They've a lot to contend with, a lot to put up with. Great support from the county board, and you saw what kind of these lads can do when they're given the big stage and the opportunity. You know, they're a credit to their county and to themselves.
Armagh and Mayo met in this year's Nicky Rackard Cup final, with Armagh looking to avenge their 8-point defeat to Mayo in round 2. Mayo lined out with all-star footballer Keith Higgins in their side, and they started stronger with a goal from Darren McTighe. Shane Boland's shot was initially blocked down, but McTighe was on hand to strike into the empty net. It took Armagh some time to settle into the game, but they clawed their way back thanks to this well-taken score from their captain Cathal Carville. Mayo now playing a counter-attacking game, hit back with 3 unanswered points from Feeney, McManus and this long-range effort from Sean Regan. The fluency and pace of Armagh's full-forward line caused Mayo problems, and this score from Cathal Corvin and 2 from the energetic Declan Coulter left the sides level at half-time, 1-6 to 9 points. Armagh carried their good form into the second half, and good work from Coulter set up Owen McGuinness, who turned and shot low past Donald O'Brien to put Armagh in front. Fergal Boland proved to be an inspired substitution for Mayo as the touring man hit 2 superb points to bring the sides level again. A decisive moment came when Mayo's star man Kenny Feeney rose high to fetch, turn and blast to the net to give Mayo a 3-point lead. But once again the Ulster men responded. 3 more points, this one from McGuinness, brought the sides level again with 5 minutes remaining. But Mayo finished the game like champions and hit 4 spectacular points in the last 5 minutes. Scores from man of the match Feeney and this impressive effort from Sean Regan gave Mayo a 4-point victory and their first ever Nicky Rackard title. Full time in Croke Park, Mayo 2-16, Armagh 1-15.
Performance-wise, you probably weren't anywhere near where we'd have liked, but I think when it came to the few crucial balls there in the second half, we kind of got the better of them, and I don't know, maybe we just, the fact it was driven into us all year, we were going to win it, so without being overconfident, but yeah, when it came down to it, we really wanted it.
Antrim and Meath met in the biggest game of the day at Croke Park, the Christy Ring Cup final. Meath were hoping to return to Lee McCarthy action for the first time since 2004, while Antrim were looking to bounce straight back after last year's relegation. The Saffron's experience showed in the early stages as corner forward Conor Johnston hit 1-1 to give his side an early 5-point lead. His goal coming after good work from attacking partner Kieran Clark. It was Clark himself who extended Antrim's lead with one of the scores of the day in HQ. Meath had to wait until the 25th minute to get their first point from play. This great individual effort from the industrious Joey Kenna, reducing the deficit to 8. The Royals then began to find their feet and hit 3 unanswered points, with the pick of the bunch coming from midfielder Shawnee Heavey. His long-range effort left the score 110 to 7 points at half-time. Both teams exchanged points after the restart, with Antrim's Niall McKenna getting his second score of the day with this fine effort. Moments later, Meath full forward Neil Heffernan took on the Antrim defence before picking his spot low into the bottom corner to bring Meath within 4. Martin Ennis's men were now dominating the possession and hit 3 points without reply. Wing-back Keith Keohan's brilliant point from the sideline, leaving just 2 between the sides. Antrim again increased their lead, first from Eddie McCluskey, followed by a third point from the productive Niall McKenna, which looked to have sealed victory for Antrim. But Meath failed to give up, and when their energetic substitute Sean Quigley jinxed inside his man and shot low into the corner, the sides were level. Quigley proved to be the hero for the Royals when his last-minute score sailed over the black spot to give Meath their first ever Christy Ring title. It was a day for the underdog in Croke Park, with the final score ending Meath 218, Antrim 120. However, as Meath began to celebrate, both Antrim and the members of the media questioned the scoreline, believing it to be a draw.
Yeah, it's a most unfortunate thing to occur because they're fabulous scenes of people who are keeping hurling going in Meath, celebrating a huge day. And the referee, by the way, has acknowledged that a mistake was made. And the GA will meet on Tuesday morning to decide what action to take, if any. That will be decided on Tuesday. But it is now acknowledged that it was a draw. Meath, understandably, went wild with celebrations. What would you do?
What would I do if I was Meath or what I was Antrim?
Yeah, well,
or the GA?
what should be done? What's the right thing
look,
to do?
it was just so it's terrible. I mean, this competition and the other competitions were come up with by the GA to, promote hurling in the weaker counties, give them their big day in the sun, and the scoreboard can't get it right. Now the ref doesn't have it right either, so it's unfortunate. The match was a draw. Meath get the cup. The celebrations are wild. And then we hear last night that it was, it's just horrible, really. I don't know, should there be a replay at this stage? How would you get your head right for a Meath, if you're a Meath player, for a replay? Should they just leave it alone, leave them as the champions, and put both of them into the round robin next year in Leinster? Make an exception. They didn't lose the match.
There'll be more fixture.
Maybe there would be, but they didn't lose the match days. And look, they're playing it on the first. They're playing it on the first Saturday in June anyway.
But would an Antrim player not want to say, "Well, I played in Croke Park. I want to have a trophy from that"?
They would, but I suppose that the big issue, Des, is that in the day of so much analysis, so much video analysis, lads in the stand doing stats. Surely to God, somebody there has to go, hold on now, lads. At that moment in time, we're keeping track on the score here. The score is wrong, and call it up there.
The ref is wired up, surely, and
just to check your notebook and get it right.
Say to a linesman or somebody who can get word into the referee.
What actually happened was, I think it was an Antrim point. It was given as a Meath point.
Yeah.
They took it back, but they never gave the point to Antrim. Yeah. And that's what caused all the confusion. Now, you see by the pictures there, the Antrim lads didn't really have a cop themselves. I don't know who was doing stats for Antrim. He should have nearly known what the score was.
I suppose it's easy to say it now, but you're just saying, is it a process where a referee just goes down through the score, tots it up and makes it right? And it's very easy to say that now. In best practice, that should happen. But you say it's happened now, and it's a mess.
Was the cup filled last night? Like, did it de-fill it today?
Well, I don't know, but what do you think?
I'd imagine it was.
I'd say it hasn't been empty, but anyway. Sean Quigley's goal for Meath was crucial.
Absolutely, and he was an amazing sub, actually, Des. I think he got 2 pucks, but just came on, and a fantastic ball across. They really showed massive fight. They were down 1-7 to a point, Des. It looked as if this could be the hiding of all hidings in their first final against a team who had traditionally been in Leinster, but very cleverly moved back onto his strong right-hand side there, and kept it low. I suppose maybe not a rocket, but just the fact that it was low and hard, tucked inside. You'd expect him to go off his left there, showed the dummy, and a great shot, and a little hop in on the hard ground, deceived the keeper, and a great goal.
Yeah. Big day for Mayo as well in their celebrations, but it was being questioned here in the office, could there have been a red card for Mayo, or should there have been a red card for Mayo?
Yeah, it appears that way. We had, an incident there towards the end of that match, and you were just saying, Declan Coulter, who surprisingly was taken off yesterday with 5 points to his name, and he gets a sneaky little jab there where you really don't want it. And when we look at that again, the referee is looking straight across at that. Now, I know whether he blinked or what, but when you look at him here, when they show it here, like, he's back, he's only 20 yards away. How can he miss that? That's a nasty dig, and it would have changed the match.
They were leading at that stage as well, and they probably could have kicked on at 14.
It's hard to believe the referee and linesman are both within 5 yards.
But we were just looking at it afterwards. The ref appears to be completely unobstructed. He's looking at this unfolding in front of me. He's after awarding a free. You're saying, how did he miss that? Because it's blatant and it's in front of him. So
Great mention for Keith Higgins. In fairness, there's to come home from the football training camp to play the Nicky Rackard final,
Well, he's been a very loyal servant to Mayo Hurling.
Absolutely, hats off to the guy. It's a fantastic achievement, and you have to mention Kenny Feeney. He gave an absolute exhibition.
He get 1-9 he scored.
He was he was a tour de force for Mayo yesterday.
Okay, and we have to mention Louth as well, because they appear dead and buried against Sligo.
Yeah,
they just 12 points down.
12 points down, and they just went bonkers in the last few minutes, and just whatever happened. And there's sometimes matches we rarely see it happening. But the excitement it adds there, they went on a run and got a ball of goals just at the end of that match, and like at one stage there, Sligo were cruising, and they even got a goal back when it looked like the comeback was on. But to be fair to Laois,
to be fair, it is a low level. But Derek McGrath wouldn't like to see some of this defending. I think tonight, I don't think you'll see it with Waterford. But it makes for great entertainment. We had certainly a high-scoring encounter, but there isn't too many back at that stage. But
the decision to play these finals in Croke Park has been totally vindicated and justified.
Absolutely, it's great for those guys. I know how hard they work. They make huge sacrifices, and what a thrill for them to get in there yesterday, and to come out winners, and even losers to be in there yesterday. Heartbreaking and all. It's a great occasion.
Yeah, well, hopefully there will be a resolution that's acceptable to all on that one. We're going to stay with the hurling action though, because there were 2 quarter-finals in Leinster today. Westmeath, boosted by their under-21 victory over Kilkenny, took on Galway in one match and Offaly hosted Laois in the other. Let's see how they turned out.
Westmeath were looking for their first win over Galway, coming into the game with 3 wins already behind them in the round-robin series. The Galway bus only arrived some half an hour before the proposed throw-in time, which was then delayed some 10 minutes due to the large crowd in attendance. And straight from the throw-in, Galway struck as they took the lead in the opening 20 seconds of the game as Cathal Mannion pointed on the run. Another Mannion point and one each from Joe Canning and Davy Glenham put Galway 4 ahead before Westmeath replied, and Niall O'Brien free and this Alan Devine score cut the gap to 2. Well, that was as near as Westmeath got in a totally one-sided first half. Shane Maloney, Jason Flynn and Joe Canning with his first point from play, helping to open up a 5-point gap. Canning got 7 first-half points while Westmeath laboured to get going, especially in midfield. O'Brien offered something at least, this one of 4 first-half points for him. But Galway scored 5 unanswered before the half-time whistle. 3 for Canning, 1 for Conor Whelan, and the final point of the half to Davy Glenham from play meant Galway led by 12 points at half-time. Canning went off injured early in the second period, and Westmeath got at least a decent start to the second half as O'Brien put over 3 points, 1 from play. A nice score from a difficult angle. But just a minute later, Galway raised the green flag for the first time as Jason Flynn got in on goal to score past the Westmeath goalkeeper, Paddy Maloney. O'Brien put over 2 points for the home side, but Galway kept pressing and got their second goal of 50 minutes as Joe Cooney drilled to the net as Galway started to pull further away. Westmeath did get a flurry of points in the midsection of the second half to at least give the home side an air of some respectability. This one from Brendan Murtagh. But Galway got their third goal of the game 3 minutes from time to help wrap up a comprehensive 17-point victory for the tribesmen as Conor Whelan drilled to the net past Maloney. A facile victory in the end for Galway, and it's they who advanced to the Leinster semi-final on a scoreline Galway 3-27, Westmeath 19 points.
Obviously we're happy with the result. And in fairness to the lads, you know, they put in massive preparation coming into the game, and look, I suppose we were very conscious that Westmeath had a couple of games under the belt, and obviously, you know, it's a big addition coming into a game like this, having games under the belt, and you know, look, so we give them their due respect, and you know, I have a lot of respect for Michael Ryan and Michael Walsh and the management team that he has, and look, in fairness to our boys, they came in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, I think we're very disappointed with our performance. You know, we didn't play to our potential today, and in fairness to Galway, a lot of that is down to Galway. They're a fine side, they have a big physical presence in their team, and disappointed with our hurling today because, you know, we made a lot of hurling mistakes, and you know, we gave them chances, and when you give a good team like Galway chances, inevitably they'll punch you, and they did that today.
It may only be June 5th, but Offaly were today seeking a third championship win of the year. After a shaky start against Westmeath, the ship was steady with victories over Carlow and Kerry. This was Laois's first outing. After a slow start, the first score of the game arrived from play in the 12th minute from midfielder Sean Ryan. Laois were facing into a stiff breeze in the first half, but yet created the first goal-scoring opportunity, by James Dempsey. It was straight down the other end for Offaly as Shane Dooley displayed how it should be done from Murphy's incisive pass. Offaly scored the next 4 points to lead 1-9-7, but Laois were level by the half-time break, helped greatly by a goal on 35 from PJ Scully after Dempsey had initially denied Neil Foyle. Foyle wasn't to be denied a second time and got a fine point a minute later, 1-10 apiece at the break. Offaly got a dream start to the second period when Joe Bergen glanced in after a tremendous fetch from Kylie's pinpoint long ball. Offaly then took control of the game and dominated in all sectors, and when Bergen fired this point it left matters 2-16 to 1-11 in favour of the home side. And things got worse for the Laois men as Ender Rowlands was unfortunate to cough up a penalty which all but sealed their fate. Dooley obliged from the dead ball and finished the game with 2-11. With the game all but won, Eamon Kelly afforded some of his fringe players with a bit of game time, and Liam Langton, a minor from last year, got on and made a scoring contribution. Laois will be disappointed with how their second half challenge petered out. They did finish on a high note with this effort from sub Willie Dunphy. It merely put a better complexion on the scoreline, 322 to 214.
We're very disappointed, I suppose. You know, at half-time we thought we put ourselves in a good position. Second half, you know, we just weren't competitive enough really, and just weren't winning enough primary possession, particularly around the middle third, to actually really trouble Offaly. And you know, credit to Offaly, they raised their game in the second half, and you know, we just didn't match them.
I suppose we're not looking back, we're looking forward. You know, we're trying to focus on every game. We felt we were improving over the last few weeks. We felt that we improved from the Carlow game to the Kerry game, and we knew that unless we improved another bit again, it wasn't going to be good enough to beat Laois, because they're a good side, and there was nothing in it until we got the goal after half time, and we pushed on from there.
So here is the semi-final draw in Leinster. Kilkenny play Dublin, that's next Saturday night in Portlaoise, and Galway will meet Offaly on a Sunday week. So, did Galway learn a lot from that match?
Probably not, Des, but you know, being down there in 2012 where there was only 2 points in it with about 7 minutes to go, and the Galway fans are fairly frightful. I'd say that they've been well relieved with the way they put them away today, but I suppose forewarned is a bit forearmed, you know. There was a few, won't be too hard now, Eddie, but Westmeath have been improving, and you know, big shock in the 21, obviously, and that's kind of had Galway really on their toes for today. I saw a few of the interviews during the week, and the players seemed really ready to go out and go at it, and they look slick enough today.
Job well, yeah. Offaly, after a dreadful, you know, their form, but they were written off by a lot of people. You know, they've come back well, haven't they?
Yeah, they're after being it's after been a roller coaster year for Eamon Kelly and Conor Gleeson and co there. They've seen probably both sides of the coin and how tough it can be very quickly. But look, they're into a Leinster semi now against Galway, and they are up against it. There's no doubt about that. So it's just Offaly, I suppose. The youth isn't coming through in Galway. They haven't, or in Offaly, they haven't the young lads coming through. And I know there's a working group there now, and they're doing their best trying to rectify that. But you know, there's some good hurlers there, but they're just not kicking on.
I wonder, does Eamon Kelly a master plan in his head when he lost the first match to Westmeath?
This because the winners,
the winners of the group got Galway. and the runners-up got Laois, and Laois had no match coming into this, and you know, like, I mean,
so they were far better off.
The reward was way better for coming second than coming first, which can't be right, really.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that. Just by the way, in relation to that goal we showed by Shawnee Quigley there for Meath a few minutes ago, the Fermanagh football full forward Sean Quigley, do you remember him from Croke Park last?
Yeah.
He's after tweeting, why are all Sean Quigley goals controversial? Anyway, thanks to Anthony and Eddie for their company tonight. But coming up after the break, we're joined by Tomás O'Shea and Brian McGuigan to reflect on a lot of the weekend's football action, and Armagh hit back at comments made by Joe Brolly last week.
The suggestion that Kieran McGeeney will not work with Crossmaglen players is incredible, given that both James Morgan and Tony Kernan played for Armagh last Sunday, and as always, demonstrated their total commitment to Armagh county team.
Who are you? No one seems to grasp the concept of the mask.
Superman, that's what they call him.
Boom! We got the gang back together.
That was insane. It was awesome, but it was insane, right?
Prepare to be blown away in an action-packed week of full-on movies. Starting with The Amazing Spider-Man, Saturday at 7:35 on RTE2.
Switch to Air now and get our ultimate bundle for just €30 a month for a whole year. Get unlimited super fast fibre broadband and unlimited home phone calls, just €30 a month. Add 55 of Ireland's favourite TV channels, still just €30 a month. Plus get a free 4G smartphone with calls, texts, 4G data, and now free EU roaming on calls and texts too. And it's still just €30 a month. That's unlimited super fast fibre broadband and unlimited home phone calls, 55 TV channels, a free 4G smartphone with calls, texts and 4G data, and free EU roaming on calls and texts, all for just €30 a month for a whole year. Call 1-800 500 300, go in store or visit air.ie.
At Super Value, we want to help the whole country cook more with our Good Food Karma project.
The meal that I love the most with my family is Sunday roast. To me, it's the ultimate family dinner. So will you clean up this mess for me? To get these recipes, they're in store and also on our website, supervalue.ie.
Super Value. Now we're cooking.
Volkswagen.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Here's to all of you who love to break. Whether you break together or prefer to break alone.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. It really is.
However you break, have a break. Have a Kit Kat. And now add something extra to your break. Scan the on-pack QR code to enjoy awesome YouTube videos.
Bank holiday mega deals at Curry's PC World. Save €200 on this 7-kilo Hotpoint washing machine with a 1400 spin. The 9-kilo model is just €50 more. Get a huge screen for an incredible price. This 55-inch JVC comes with stunning picture quality at only $469. And save €170 on this Lenovo laptop with its fast Intel Core i3 processor for just $429. But hurry, offer ends Wednesday. At Curry's PC World, we start with you.
You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible.
I have become a whole new person because of you.
Me before you.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, 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 oh. Nobody, baby, but you and me.
Enjoy the little things in life. Maybe they are really the big things.
You and me,
IKEA,
baby.
the wonderful everyday.
Now is the time to switch to KBC.
Open a KBC Extra Current account and you'll get free banking when you lodge €2,500 a month. You'll also get the optional extra of a 2% bonus offer on your regular saver. Pop in and see us and we'll do the rest for you. Or call our dedicated switcher team on 1800 51 52 53. KBC, the bank of you.
Bin your gun when you're done and avoid a €150 fine.
Smithwick's Blonde, crafted with Polaris hops and sweet malt for a delicate flavour and smooth finish.
Live well with Centra, proud sponsor of the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship.
Now 16 teams are in the hat for round one of the football qualifiers. You can join Darren Frahel and GA President Aegon O'Farrell on RTE Radio 1 at 8:30 on Tuesday's Morning Ireland for the draw. And it's football all the way next weekend on the Sunday game live. Donegal take on Fermanagh at 2 o'clock, and then it's Roscommon versus Sligo at 4. We'll be live from Dr. Hyde Park from 1:30 on RT1. And our programme also moves to RT1 next week, but at our usual time of 9:30 we'll have action, reaction and analysis from across all 4 provinces. Now, following comments made by Joe Brolly on the programme with Michael Lester last Sunday afternoon, Armagh spoke to the Sunday game earlier today as a right of reply in relation to those comments. So here's Ger Canning with Armagh chairman Paul McCardle.
Paul, it wasn't a great day for Armagh last Sunday, but certain things were said in the analysis on television. What was Armagh's views about what was said on Sunday?
Well, Ger, we recognise in Armagh that we are a small county with limited resources, but we still aspire to be back in the top 8 in Ireland. However, we have to do that within our means. We don't have vast resources to pour into our senior county team. In fact, this year our spend is down significantly on the same period last year. Our county senior footballers have not been in a foreign training camp, nor indeed have they had a training weekend. Kieran McGeeney understands this fully, and indeed since he's come back to Armagh has been very instrumental in cost savings around the senior team. I would just like to talk about the availability of county players to clubs. With our clubs back in this year, we restructured our leagues, and a key driver behind that was to widen the period when county players would be available to clubs. So to claim that Armagh players don't play for their clubs is simply incorrect. Stephen Campbell, for example, who's been our most prolific forward this year, in the period up to 2 weeks before the Cavan game, played in 4 out of 5 of his club leagues matches. The claim that 8 Crossmaglen players left our panel within 2 weeks is again incorrect. Likewise, the suggestion that Kieran McGeeney will not work with Crossmaglen players is incredible, given that both James Morgan and Tony Kiernan played for Armagh last Sunday and, as always, demonstrated their total commitment to Armagh county team. Jamie Clark relayed his own very personal reasons for not being involved this year and backed that up with his full support for Kieran McGeeney and the county players. As county chairman, I led our delegation to Congress this year with a mandate to fully support the motion to move the All-Ireland finals back to leave a better window for club competition. Armagh backed that motion strongly and would do so again if it comes up at Congress any time in the future.
Do you agree with one of the statements that was made in the programme last week that the demands on county players has become, in the view of some people, intolerable?
I wouldn't use the word intolerable. The demands on county players nowadays are immense, but I don't know any other county manager who is as concerned for the welfare of his players than Kieran McGeeney. Finally, I would just like to say that as far as Armagh GA is concerned, having had an opportunity to correct the inaccuracies, that we will be making no further comment on these matters. We're now looking forward to 18th of June and the first round qualifying game. And as county chairman, I would reiterate my total support for Kieran McGeeney, his backroom staff and the county players.
Well, that's reaction to our pundit Joe Brolly. What do you make of that, Tomas?
I'm not sure. I have great respect for Armagh GA, but I feel it's kind of daft that they feel they have to come on TV and explain about it. Joe's a pundit. He's well entitled to his opinions. Right or wrong, if his opinions are right or wrong, Armagh shouldn't be focusing on Joe Brawley. Armagh should be focusing on what's going on in side within their own county. That it shouldn't feel a need to respond to what an analyst is talking about. Personally, if it happened within my own county, and if I saw county boards replying to somebody like that, I wouldn't be too happy about it. And I couldn't see how Kieran McGeeney would be happy with that either. Look, it's a situation, they're going through transition at the moment. They're a team that were successful not in the recent past. And look, I think it was a poor decision by Armagh to come on TV and to reply to it.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, well, Joe, and he makes some very good points and when he talks about it, but I think he does be very personal in some of the things that he does say. But as regards Armagh, they want to make a statement to back up their stalwart, Kieran McGeeney, but I think we all know that the only way to retaliate that is by doing it in the field.
Yeah. Okay, mind you, they'd have had more success if it wasn't for Tyrone. You ruined it for them in the 2000s. Listen, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to head to the action on the pitch now, and we start with this afternoon's big game in Ulster, Down taking on Monaghan. And watching for us, Tom Carr and Ger Canning.
The defending Ulster champions show a team with Kieran Hughes listed in midfield with his older brother Darren wearing the number 14 shirt. But there are two late changes for Monaghan. Kieran Duffy comes into midfield and Conor McCarthy starts up front. Their opponents show 7 players starting a championship game in the Down colours. Aidan Carr is their most experienced defender, while Kevin McKernan is playing in his 37th championship match. Among the newcomers is Conor Harrison playing at full forward. And that's given away rather poorly. And it's an opportunity for McInnesby to set up the next attack, helped out there by Colin Walsh. Down into the corner there, down towards Kieran Hughes. And Hughes kicking with the left. And it's a tight one. He's got it.
Yeah, I suspect it was over. Jerry hit it very well. And you always know by the body language of the player. The minute he kicked it, he just had one little look and turned away. But a great score.
Kicked in there by McKibben again into the inside forward line, controlled here by Barry O'Hagan, and Barry O'Hagan has a support player should he need him, and onto the netting and over the bar. Good response by O'Hagan, one of the championship newcomers. Conor McGinn now linked with the Down team that reached the All-Ireland final 6 years ago now. Beautiful ball floated in here, well taken up once more. Clever play by Barry O'Hagan. Back as far as McGinn, having a go. Has the length, has the accuracy. Good point. Bounces kindly for Vinnie Corey. Here's a call. Recognises the positioning here of Conor McCarthy from Scottstown, just 20 years of age. Carol O'Connell. 7 or 8 players now have been involved in this move. Vinnie Corey would maybe consider finishing it. Playing it deep across there towards Kieran Hughes, and Hughes over the bar.
Oh yeah, what a great score. I think he had goal on his mind when he turned his man aside that time.
This is won very well indeed by Carol O'Connell. Took a few knocks, one possession, gives it off to Darren Hughes. Now Conor McCarthy. Onto it very, very quickly here came Carey. At the receiving end again of this ball. Beautifully done. Took the pass from McManus. Shane Carey is capable of putting up some very, very big scores.
And we watch where he came from and went to kick it. He came from 50 yards, went to 30, received the ball again, and that's where you need an experienced defence to track the man on.
Down have had to make changes with their goalkeeper in recent times. It is Kane coming in. He played in the championship last year, but Michael Cunningham had been playing for much of the league. He's out with a knee injury. That's Murphy. That's back as far as Poland. They need to get the next score now to try and tie it again. Poland finds enough space. Don't know how he did that. There wasn't a decent challenge, but he somehow managed to weave his way through there and kicked a lovely score.
He did it with a little bit of magic. Watch his dummies. He goes to kick, sells 2 guys in it, makes a little bit of space for him. Nice angle to come in from in front of the goal off his right foot.
Coming back to pick it up is Joe Murphy from Ballyholland. On as far as Conor McGinn again. They retain possession. Moving forward here with Darrow O'Hanlon. On his shoulder is McGinn. McGinn kicking before Desimone can get in the challenge, and this time it's measured absolutely perfectly. Carol O'Connell, head down, quick look up now to see who's on his shoulder and who's moving laterally with him. Vinnie Corey, outside him even to the left. Darren Hughes into the corner, there they go. And that will be kicked with great accuracy and put over the bar.
Great kick, great score.
Up as far as Shane Carey. They keep it moving through Desimone. Moan is 30 metres out, and that is a very high and dangerous challenge.
That's a crazy challenge. It looks like a black card, could be a yellow.
He's gone.
Yeah. No need for that foul, Joe. And I actually don't think it's indicative of the pressure that Monaghan are actually putting on the down defence.
Eamon Burns looks frustrated. Up towards a one-man inside forward line right now, and that is Conor McManus. Skips away from the first challenge, beats Jared McGovern and kicks it with wonderful accuracy. He's kicked 6 points today. That's the first to come from open play. Now Joe Murphy, again taking it into contact. You can't do that against quality opposition. There was a jersey pull there. The referee said, let it go on. Henry Brown was the guilty party. They may pay for that. And it's McCarthy, and Conor McCarthy has got his first ever championship point here. Following a lapse by Down when they should have been counter-attacking. They concede another, and there is 6 between them. And here is Johnny Flynn. And it's robbed by Kieran Duffy. Sent in there towards McMahon as runs on. Here's a goal chance. Buried brilliantly by Kieran Hughes. That is his first ever championship goal.
Great taking goal by Kieran Hughes, and if McManus hasn't exactly been getting opportunity to score goals, Hughes certainly has.
I like the way he was anticipating that McManus mightn't get it. He did. The finish was devastating. Absolute cracking shot with that wonderful left boot of his. Still they make progress down. O'Hanlon again, back out to Donal O'Hare. Can he finally get a score here?
He can.
He's done so. So that is a second point for Donal O'Hare. The first one came in the opening minutes of the second half, you may remember, and here we are now, some 28 minutes in, and they get a second point. Dick Clarkin, Darren Hughes, so much experience in this team. I mean, they would love to get back to Croke Park in August. Most neutral fans would like to see them win a quarter-final and see where it goes from there, because you never know with Monaghan. There's a lot of class there. They have a lot of good performers, and one of them is Daniel McKenna, known as the Yank. And he's got his first point here, having just come on as sub. Darren Hughes again. Brown can't get to him. Here's another goal chance. Neatly put away there by Owen Duffy. And that is also his first time to score a goal in the championship.
Well, it's all happening for Down, Ger. Owen Duffy was a good 40-50 yards. It's fine getting back, watching the man on the ball, but you've also got to watch the men who are not on the ball and are making those deep runs. See how far he came? Right through the middle and took the goal superbly. What a great score.
Engineer a goal at this late stage in the game, because the game is up and it's all over, and Monaghan have come through very, very convincingly here against Down in a disappointing one-sided quarter-final of the Ulster Championship. In St Tiernack's Park here in Clones this afternoon, it's finished. Monaghan 2 goals and 22 points, Down 9 points.
For the first 15-20 minutes, I thought Down caused us plenty of problems. I suppose we were giving them a wee bit too much room all around the field, and they were scoring, and did a couple of scoring chances, you know, that could have left us more problems. But I thought as the half went on, we got the grips of it a wee bit better. We started dealing with their kick-outs better and won a lot of possession from that. So we went in at half-time in a good enough position, and then in the second half we got on top, and we made it pay when we did get on top.
Well, disappointing with the result, but I thought for maybe 35-40 minutes we were in the game and we played fairly well, but the second half told us tail on us, and they were able to open us up, hit us on the counter. Goals win games, and they were able to ease away at the end.
All right, let's have a look at the semi-final lineup in Ulster. Tyrone will play Cavan on the 19th of June, and then Monaghan will play the winners of Fermanagh and Donegal the following weekend. Well, Tomas, 222 to 9 points, no arguing with that. What did you make of the game?
It was a funny game, Des, I suppose. Malachy O'Rourke said it there. They were that bit sluggish in the first half, you know. They were a small bit off the pace. Down missed a lot of chances in the first half that could have brought it a lot closer. Monaghan dominated midfield and were 3 points up at half time. Down possibly should have been closer, but in the second half, Monaghan upped it. You know, they have been consistent in Ulster for the last few years. The question about Monaghan, the question that's been thrown at them is when they come down south. But up north, they're doing very, very well. You'd have to feel for Down after 7 poor performances in the league, another heavy defeat, and they're in a bad place at the minute. But Monaghan, a good positive start for Monaghan, a great second half by them today.
You don't want to knock the down lads because, I mean, Eamon Burns went in when it wasn't easy to go in there, and the young lads are trying very hard. That is Down's heaviest championship defeat ever. I'm told ever. That's a dark day for Down.
Yeah, well, going into the match, 14 months without a win the league or championship, and Pete McGrath said earlier on in the week that this was the lowest ebb they were ever at in 30 years going into a championship match. And to be fair to the Down players, for 30 minutes, they really put it up to Monaghan, and it was level with 5 minutes before half time. But as the match wore on, then you just seen the quality of Monaghan just shining through, and Down just didn't have that quality.
I mean, the key area, I suppose, was that third quarter. Started the second half, Monaghan just pulled right away from Down, didn't they?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. At half time they spoke. They were a lot more direct in the second half. In the first half they were that bit sluggish, but you know, they just got on top very early on in the second half. Within 10 minutes they were well in control. They used purpose, pace, straight over. They were way more clinical as well. In that first half we didn't see Conor McManus at all. There was a lot more space, and after that first 10 minutes, Des, it actually opened up more for them, you know, and it really drove Down. It was a terrible second half for Down, you know. But to be fair, you know, that hunger, I think, wasn't there for Monaghan in the first half. They tackled, they worked hard, and they broke with a bit of pace. They will struggle against better teams. You know, you can't judge today on Down. You know,
why would they struggle?
Well, see, Down had a very... I saw Down play Kerry in the National League this year, and I could not believe how much they stood off Kerry. Now, Down had put in a great performance in the first half today. I thought they were a lot closer than I expected them to be. But in the second half, it was the same Down we saw throughout the National League. I don't think Monaghan, you have Donegal up there, you have Tyrone up there. They'll be tested a lot more, you know, and they know that. Probably the most competitive province of the lot of them. But today, in the second half, yes, but if I was on Monaghan man today, they need to be doing that for longer periods of time. You know, they're not going to get away with that against the top teams, and they need to be doing it for 60 minutes, 70 minutes. Today, they did it for 35.
Okay, now Down were in the game, as you said, for 30, 35 minutes, whatever, and they could have been closer indeed. Show us why you thought it didn't work for them in attack.
Well, going into the game, we knew that Down were going to be toothless up front, but they didn't really help themselves by every time they went forward. They always seemed to go into the corner, and it always left Monaghan a 2-on-1 situation. It always meant that it could filter bodies back, and you know, Down just never really looked like they threatened a goal or nothing. Here you see another punt pass right into the corner where there's no danger whatsoever. And then in the second half, Donal O'Hare come on. He probably was the only shining light that they had. He was making intelligent runs. He wasn't making them into the corner. They always seemed to be in the D area. Here we see in the second half, Down walk the ball across, and Donal O'Hare makes an intelligent run, and it's a good pump pass, and that's the kind of runs that Down should be making in the first half. Yeah. But if you look at the Down team, it really was unfair on Eamon Burns. He had a full forward line that wasn't playing there today. Conor Laverty, the two Johnsons, you had Donal O'Hare, Ciaran Mooney and Marty Clark all not playing. And that tells us something about Down football in general. There really is something wrong there.
They've gone down to Division 2, Brian. I mean, Division 2 is also very competitive. It'll be hard to pick them up for that as well, won't it? It
is. They really are going to have to get the best players in the county out training and playing with them. And you know, fair play to Eamon Burns. He's a big man in Down. He won 2 All-Irelands, and he was willing to put his name in the line there. And you thought that would have got a lot of the players out playing for Down, but it's not happening. Okay, Monaghan's presence. You were talking about how well they were doing in midfield. This is one of their key areas, isn't it? Against all teams.
Well, I remember even the days I was playing, that Monaghan team, a lot of them are still there. They always were physical around the middle of the field. You know, it gives them this platform to attack. You know, even though they didn't reap benefit from it in the first half because they didn't score as much as they should have. There was two things here, Des. They're very, very physical around the middle of the field and they win a lot of possession. They were way stronger than Down. Down struggled for the last couple of years without the likes of Dan Gordon at the middle of the field. But one thing I couldn't understand was why Stephen Kane kept baiting ball down and out the middle. You know, change it up some way. They were completely dominant in that first half. Anything that went long, you know, you'd expect Monaghan went short more often than Down. And you'd expect, you know, whatever possession Down wanted, team that were going short. It gives them...
you seem a bit uncertain about Monaghan, though. I mean, and right,
I'm not
are the Ulster final?
Yeah, look, they've won 2 of the last 3. I'm not uncertain in terms of Ulster. They don't seem to have an issue up there, and they're well capable of it. Their issues seem they haven't contested a semi-final yet. You know, their issues start when they come down to Croke Park, and I think there is with Tyrone, with maybe Donegal, there's a fear factor from the teams from the south. I don't think that same fear factor is there for Monaghan, and it's something that I suppose it's hard for them at the moment because they're a long way from even getting to Croke Park, and we're talking about Croke Park now, but it's just something down the line, and they're working with the same group of players in essence that they've had that have been knocking on that door and haven't broken it down yet.
Yeah, the attitude has to change with Monaghan players because 5 years ago their main aim would have been an Ulster title, but they've got 2 of them now, and they really have to step out beyond that now. The same players have been there from 2005, a lot of them. So
you've done that. How big is the step from winning an Ulster title to All-Ireland contender?
Well, before Mickey came in, you know, an Ulster title was massive for us, and then the first couple of years we got a few, and then, you know, you have to set your targets higher and that. And Mickey came in and he gave us the belief to go on down to Dublin, and
we helped you out as well, to be fair.
But Monaghan haven't done it down the quarter-final stage yet.
All right, well, time will tell. We'll see more. We're going to name our man of the match now. So, Tomas, who are our candidates for man of the match?
Yeah, Des, we went for 3 Monaghan men, 3 stalwarts. First of all, we went for Kieran Hughes. Brilliant game today. You know, he's kicked 1-2. A brilliant performance by him all round. We went for Colin Walsh, the defender. Very, very solid for the last few years. One of the best defenders in the country. Even when Monaghan, I won't say we're struggling in the first half, he was just constant throughout the game. And finally, Darren Hughes, who had a whale of a game at midfield. Physically big man, and kind of as they say in the soccer, a box-to-box player, was up and down the field and worked tirelessly.
All right, so who did you give it to, Brian?
Well, we could have given it to any one of the Hughes brothers, but we thought that there was a huge game from Darren Hughes. He had 27 possessions, which was massive, and he just has a serious engine, and not only that, he won 4 frees, he won 2 kickouts, and he set up a goal too.
Yeah, great. Well done to Darren then. Here's what he had to say afterwards.
Darren, that was a very, very convincing display in the second half in particular.
Yeah, I suppose we were disappointed with our first half performance and glad to get in at half time, 3 points up. We felt there was a decent breeze at our back and with a chance early on to push on. Thankfully we did that.
Did the game more or less pan out as you imagined it might?
Yeah, I suppose we are generally slow to start, but I think defensively we're a bit loose, and they got through us handy enough in the first half. So as I say, we're glad to get in, regroup at half time. Glad to be 3 points up, and we'd set ourselves to come out for an early push in the second half.
Well done. You are the Super Value RT man of the match, and it's presented to you now by Bernard McNally. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Now, there's been plenty of talk in recent years about taking the Dublin footballers out of Croke Park. Well, it finally happened yesterday as the Dubs headed to Nolan Park to face Laois. Let's see how it unfolded now with Porrick Lodge.
Proud night for the Ballymun Kickham's club with 4 players in the Dublin starting 15, including ace free-taker Dean Rock. Johnny Cooper has played for Dublin in Nolan Park before. That was in minor hurling 10 years ago. And in a late change, Paul Mannion comes in for Paul Flynn, who was injured in the warm-up. Former Aussie rules player Colin Begley is back in the side, having missed the Wicklow game through injury. And even though John O'Loughlin is selected at centre forward, he's expected to play much of his game around midfield. 10 years to the day since they last left Croke Park for a championship game. Dublin are on the road again, and we couldn't have asked for a better night for the 33rd championship game between Laois and Dublin. An early touch for Dean Rock, and that's a goal already. Well, can you believe that? We were wondering how long it would take Dublin to score their first goal of the championship. Approximately 10 seconds. Dean Rock, one man anxious to make an impression, cutting his way in along the end line. Paul Cotter cut out there badly. The Laois corner back, and Dean Rock with the right foot gives Dublin the dream start. Some fans hadn't even taken their seats yet. Darren Strong playing the ball in towards Gary Walsh. Got a goal in the opening match of the championship against Wicklow. Eyeing up a score here to set Laois on their way, and they really needed that to settle them down. The 4th minute point from the Ballylinen man, Walsh, will settle the